He likes to be called simply Mohanji. And so that explains also the way he is, very, very simple, almost transparent, very powerful though. He says the most important is your experiences. That's the only truth that you can have. You can read from a lot of books, and it would be just book knowledge. This is very unique, and you will see for yourselves. I remember a few years ago when I met Mohanji for the first time, and I came to a retreat like this. I was falling apart. I was so nervous. I was trembling. And but it was the best experience of my life. It changed my whole life, changed me completely. And from severe depression to just a few days after, I was in blissful state for a very long time. A lot of shedding happens, a lot of letting go. You get what you need, you get what you're ready for. Okay, so please sit up straight and relax. Keep your eyes closed till the end of Power Purity meditation. We will start with chanting Aum 9 times. You can take a deep breath in and start. Bring your focus to your solar plexus chakra, stomach area. And take a breath in and start with the M sound. And relax. Be aware of the energy you've created within. And we'll start with deep breathing, as deep as you can. Breathing in on count. 1, 2, 3. Breathing out. 1, 2. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And relax. Take a few more deep breaths in at your own pace. 3.
Sit in a comfortable position. Please keep your spine erect. Gently close your eyes and do not open them till I tell you to. Keep your hands stretched on your knees in Chin Mudra, which connects the tip of the thumb and index finger, while all the other 3 fingers open. Take 10 deep breaths slowly. Please do not hold the breath. Breathe in and breathe out slowly. Please be aware of your inhalation and exhalation. Now, please take your attention to your spine. Be aware of your spine. Spine as the center axis of your aura body. Try to visualize yourself in a full circle in 360 degrees with spine as the center axis. Let this awareness stay always. You are more complete when you are aware of your existence in 360 degrees circle. Being aware of this state, gently, silently thank everything, every object that helped you to live on earth, including the food you have consumed so far, clothes that you wore, houses that sheltered you, the money that passed through your hand, your bed and all other materials that you used, all people who served you till now and will serve you in the future. Even if you cannot remember them, please express your gratitude to all of them and be deeply aware that without these objects and people, life on earth would not have been possible for you. For the next 5 minutes, just enjoy the peacefulness and purity of the new you. Be with your soul fully. Do not let your mind stray outside. Just feel the eternal love and light in your heartbeats, respiration and circulation. Peace and silence. Peace and silence. Peace and silence. Gently fill your lungs with fresh air. Breathe out, and with a beautiful smile, when you are ready, only when you are ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome, all of you.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's like homecoming when I come here. Because I think, who's meeting me for the first time? I think we have met before also. It's beautiful. Coming to South Africa is almost like a homecoming. Because I never felt that I left from this place. There is some interaction going on with all people here, and then the communication is continuous. So next day and a half, 2 days, almost 2 days, we are in this very sacred place, and I would like to set the tone as mindfulness, because I was just going around in the temple, and the key message, one of the key messages of Buddha is be mindful, be aware, be alert, be mindful. So let us set the trend of this program as mindfulness. So we will weave the whole program in that context. Agree?
Yes.
So how can you be mindful? What are the basic ingredients of being mindful? Be aware of your action, which is easier because there are numerous thoughts, fewer words and lesser action. So action is easy to be mindful about. Even if you're moving a hand or a finger, be aware that you're moving your finger. Next is, be mindful of your words. When you talk, let your mind be there. Not that you talk without thinking. That is why most of the time we have problems. We talk without thinking, or our mind is not present when we are talking. Then what happens? Catastrophes happen. So let us talk mindfully. Thoughts are difficult to control because we do not know which thought is going to happen the next moment. So as the thought happens, be aware there is a thought like this. But don't try to censor them. Don't criticize, don't judge, don't control.
let the thoughts flow. Just be natural. Let it all flow. And when it flows, be aware that the thoughts are flowing. What is the sound? Warren is not creating. This one. Oh, I'm touching it. So I'm the culprit. I was about to blame Warren, this is this is the way we are brought up, isn't it? You blame somebody else and you're safe. Anyway, so when the thoughts appear in your canvas, in your mind, just be aware that these thoughts are happening. In silence, whatever thoughts are happening, that means if it is not a forced, a programmed, environment-based thoughts, if it is happening naturally, understand the seeds of it is sitting in you. They are not coming from outside. If you are in silence and the thoughts are happening, they are happening out of impressions, which are already existing in your system. Like your hard drive have all those impressions. And those impressions are collected over a period of time. It never happened in one day. These impressions are sitting there probably since lifetimes. I told in one of those interviews yesterday that if you are sitting here now, you are sitting with all the impressions of all your lifetimes since you first took an incarnation in this platform called Earth. You carry in the seed form all the impressions from all your lives. You brought it forward. You brought all those here. So they must remain in you. And what reality you are experiencing today has a root in them, in those impressions. So it's a circular motion. But let us make it a vertical motion now. That is why we use this program to extract things out of you so that you will be free. So next point is freedom. Mindfulness leads you to freedom. So I was wondering what should be the theme of a program. Theme of the program was easy to determine. The moment we reach the temple, they walked with me, so they know what I'm talking about. And when you are free, how do you know when you are free? It will reflect on the people around you. They will want to talk to you. They will relate to you much easier. Because if you are a baggage of heaviness, of various emotions and tedium, people will avoid you. But if you are free from inside, people will come to you and say, your energy is beautiful. I would like to speak to you more. Or let me be with you. Even if it is not talking. So your freedom will be reflected in the world outside. It has to be. There's no other way. So freedom is something which will be like a shining bulb. You will become bright from inside. This is the second aspect of this program. We should all be shining as bright as possible. For which you need to attain some kind of silence. So be observant about yourself, be aware, be free from inside, and anything that binds you, whether let it be a thought, a word, an action, a situation, a ritual, a person, an event, an emotion, be aware of them. Don't do anything about it. Let it be there. But just be aware. That is why Aristotle says there is a tragic flow in everybody. Some tragic flow sits in all people. Nobody is immune to it. In the drama Hamlet, Shakespeare describes about the tragic flow of the man called Hamlet. His tragic flow was inertia, tamas. He took decisions much later, and by the time the story is over, always procrastinating. That was his tragic flow. In Othello, jealousy. Jealousy, induced jealousy. That means you acquire jealousy from. He's actually a very innocent man. But what happens? He listens to people and works on that advice. Yeah, he's influenced by people without thinking. Always use your discretion. You need to have integrity with yourself so that others cannot influence you. This is the story, the moral of the story called Othello. Like that, all of us have tragic flows. There is something in us which does not allow us to be natural. Or it can be the trigger to pull us down. this is something which you will understand only when you are in silence. When your mind is chattering, you will not know who you are. It's very difficult to know who actually you are. So, third point is, try to be silent. When silence is settling in, you will have the urge to talk. I understand it. I fully know this. But try to be silent. How can you be silent? When you are watching yourself, you will become silent. Don't watch outside. Be mindful and be silent. So in the next 2 days, let's experience. I don't want to keep more agendas. Because if I keep more agendas, you'll be more worried about the agenda than the activity. So let's make it simple. Yeah? What's your opinion, Jim?
That sounds great.
Yeah, we go ahead with it. So, any questions? What do we do? Somebody asked me to define the program. I said, I will not define any program. Let it flow. Because the moment you define, your mind is set on the definition. Is that so?
Yeah.
Mind always wants something framed in a box. Let us destroy the box. Let us be natural. Like a child, A small child is natural. The child is flowing, right? If it wants a toffee, it will cry until it gets it. It doesn't care about what situation people are in, right? Mama Warren?
I'll be allowed to cry too.
Are you just
Get what we want.
This is the point. Go for it, So let's do it. We'll do it. Yeah. So when you go from here, we'll see what happens. That's what I wanted. Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Cindy.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
blessed to meet you. Thank you.
Pleasure is mine.
I have a question. My mind races all the time. I mean,
Which mind doesn't?
it just does.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
Thank you. My mind races all the time, regardless. And yes, I do quieten it down. And yes, I do try and, well, I'm still trying to teach myself to witness and let it flow, as you say, like a river. Does that ever stop? Because it's overpowering sometimes. Yeah, it's a while.
If that is your highest intention, 100% sure it will stop. But you should not meddle with it. When we say our mind is active, we are actually energizing. We can be objective, watch and let go. But we should not watch it for too long. The moment you watch it for too long, it sucks you in. So we'll get there. This question also I'll answer more tomorrow. Yeah, but this is a question which we will be addressing anyway. Everybody's mind is racing. That is why we have a reason for being spiritual. People think that spirituality is an activity. That itself is caused by the mind. Spirituality is a state, not an activity. Mind makes you believe that it's an activity. You go light an incense stick, put it on the platform and say, God, now you take care of it. But God is not such stupid, What are you doing? You can't bribe God, can you? So God will say that you keep it. So mind is like that, and mind deludes us. So we will address these matters in the next couple of days. But remind me, if I did not answer, please ask me. But question is very valid, and that is why we are all here. And another thing is, mind has to be like that. How can a monkey be a goat? Isn't it? Monkey has to be a monkey. Mind is a monkey. It has to jump from branch to branch. So we handle it as a monkey.
Swamiji Bhaktananda comes from Durban. He was initiated into Swamihood last year by Mohanji. He has an ashram, Datta Tapoan, in Durban, and he is very, very devoted to Mohanji, and it's such a blessing to have him with us this time. Thank you, Swamiji.
Very good introduction, simple. You have 5 minutes.
No pressure. Only 5 minutes. Thank you, Babaji.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone. I'm sure America has done that already. I'd also like to point out something very, very important to each of you. And that is that the fact that you are here means that you were meant to be here. The fact that you are here means thousands of years ago, when your soul was making its journey, it decided it was going to be here and sit in front of a master like Mohanji. You have no idea how blessed you are just to be here, just to be in Mohanji's presence. You know, people always ask, who is Mohanji, who is Mohanji? And then they look to me, they look to Malika, and they expect some profound, answer. But it's very, very simple. You know, Mohanji is exactly who you are. You know, the most innocent part of you, the most loving part of you. That's who Mohanji is. Mohanji is a river, you know, flowing river, doesn't stop. It moves with time, or moves out of time, but it keeps on moving. You know, nothing can stop a flowing river. And this is one of the things I hope that every one of us actually learns and experiences during this 2 days. Whenever Mohanji is here, and Malika can attest to this, everything changes. You know, we can have the most precise plans, and at the last minute, absolutely everything changes. And this is a lesson in itself.
I do nothing.
Yes, Babaji. No, this is a lesson in itself. Be out of the box. Don't confine yourself to anything, to an identity, you know, to the fact that you're human. You're more than human. You're more than this body. And this is one of the messages that I hope that everyone understands during this 2 days. You know, being with Mohanji, just being here is an amazing gift. And there's nothing that you need to do. That's the best part. You know, there's no ritual, there's no pressure, there's nothing that you need to do except have an open mind. Be grateful. Just let your heart open. Accept all the blessings that come. You know, and I can attest to this. Just sitting next to Mohanji, you start changing. Just sitting next to Mohanji. That's why I always sit on the floor next to you. So I can get it first. But seriously, just sitting.
You're 1 minute more.
Just sitting in the environment where he is, changes will happen spontaneously. So please enjoy, relax, open your heart, flow, and this walk towards liberation will happen automatically. Automatically. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well done, we'll get time. Any questions?
Are you loving this place?
I love it. I never left this place. We met almost like yesterday, right? Yeah, so almost a year left, but we're still connected. That's the connection. You know, that's the soul mateship of all of us. People think that the husband and wife are soulmates. That's probably not. But all the people who are connected to you in some angle, on some level, they are the soulmates. It could be even your grocer, or your doctor, or somebody who's cleaning your house, or the cat and the dog. They're all connected to you on soul basis. So that's why we don't feel separation. We don't feel separation. We feel like we're always in touch, right? If you feel separation, understand that's only from the mind, not from the soul. Soul never feels separation. Mind feels separation because sometimes distance, sometimes lack of communication. All these things create in the mind a feeling that we are separated. Even sometimes we'll be living together, but we didn't talk for a few days or a few hours. We feel that we have alienated from the person. This is the thing which mind does. Soul doesn't do that. Soul has no problem, you know. Only mind has all the problems. So that is why mindfulness means fill the mind with nothing. Then you will be free. Mindfulness is equal to fill the mind with nothing. If you fill the mind with activity, then of course its mind is dragging you the way it likes. Yeah. So many years ago, like it was 2000, year 2000, I was in Himalayas for the first time. So that time I went to an ashram of Mata Vanamali. So I was staying there for a few days, but I was not really searching, or I was just taking it easy. But then I saw a lot of people coming to her and asking her questions, and she was giving answers. She was actually giving lecture on Bhagavad Gita. So I was also I was listening to it, and then I asked Mataji at one point in time, why don't you initiate me or give me some guidance? So then I said, I think that is was making sound. Yeah, it's probably not switched off. Right? Warren, you're making the sound? And you're upside down, so tell me when you're up. You're right. So, so she said, I'm not your guru, I'm your mother. You will be taught by the divine. That wasn't a good answer for me. I'm okay. That wasn't a good answer for me because actually I haven't even started seeking something. I did not know what to seek. So I thought, okay, what divine? Who's divine? There should be something tangible, you know. Divine is a very vague expression. So divine will teach you what is divine. But later on, when the evolution started happening, when I started moving into my spine and the changes started happening, and then I met various masters, and then the flow of life itself took me to the dimensional difference. That was the time when I realized the divine actually guides us. So what brought you to me is probably divine. Let us not underestimate it. Not only me, to every situations of life, whatever you have experienced from your first heartbeat till now and beyond, divine is taking you. So if you trust in that aspect of existence, about divine intervention, I think you have found life. Otherwise, what have you found? Nothing. So the thread is not found. The beads are found. It's easy to find the beads, you know, because it's tangible. You can see it. Beads means events in life. It's easy to find. You're still playing with this? But the thread is what we need to find. The thread which connects all the beads of life, this is exactly what we need to find. For which, where do you find this thread? Inside you, never outside you. Outside you can only find events and your impression of the events, not the events. Events we don't understand. An activity sometimes we don't understand. We only understand an activity based on how we respond to it. We responded to it or what memory it gave us. Yeah, the impression of an event is stored inside. We don't store the event inside. Somebody abused you, you will definitely feel pain because of the abuse. And where is it hitting? Exactly on the ego. I am a great personality, how can he abuse me? So, that is stored. Then you tend to abuse that man or somebody else as well. If he's too strong to take abuse from you, then you will abuse somebody who's weaker than you. So it is all stored, and we are like a huge storing machine. This is what it is. You know, the impression of the events that has been captured in our system, this is exactly what is making our reality. Like we had a problem with one person, and that person's memory is inside, then we create a problem with similar people. You know, even if that other person is okay, we don't accept it.
Sorry, do you mean like a repetition?
It's a repetition. Because you can only see the world based on what is stored inside. Yeah. In the seed form. This is what we call the causal layer. Yeah. Causal layer absorbs the data, stores them as seeds, and they sprout only when the environment is right. There you go.
Big pages just dropped.
Thank you.
So this is where we start our journey. Take it objectively. Every moment. You know, there is no moment similar to another. This is what it is. This is what we are. Tomorrow is a different us. That is why in our system, before we get out of the bed, we have a chant called, what is the chant? Kayena vacha, manasendriyaiva, buddhyatmanava, prakriti swabhava, karomi yatyat sagalam parasmai, Shri Narayanayati samarpayami. That means whatever I do with the organs of action, organs of perception, senses, all the things which I do, think and act, talk and do, I surrender at the feet of Lord Narayana. He is the Lord of maintenance. He maintains the life. So when you are taking birth in the morning, you surrender yourself at the feet of Lord Krishna. And then in the night, before we go to bed, we have a chant. Karacharana kritam va, kayajam karmajam va, shravana nayanajam va, manasam va paradham, vihidam avihidam va, sarvameda chavasva, jaya jaya karunathe, Sri Mahadeva Shambho, to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the Lord of disillusion. You are dying. You are not knowing who you are when you sleep. So, whatever I did today, whether it is good or bad, action through the sense, the organs of action, organs of perception, through the mind, intellect, ego, every aspect of our activity of that day, whether it was good or bad, whether it is approved or not approved, I surrender at your feet, O Lord Shiva. So you are not taking ownership of your action in the morning, neither in the night. That means you are like a child sleeping. All the burden is put at the feet of Lord Shiva and said, I am dying now. So each day we go through birth and death. So if I say I know you, it's lie. I don't know you, because tomorrow you are a new person. Every day you are born, every day you will die. This cycle is continuing every day. And then we mark it with our birthdays, saying that so many years we live. That's just for consolation. Just to say, okay, I'm happy to be alive. Sometimes you think, am I alive at all? Then you can say, I had my birthday, so I must be. So this is it. This is it. We are flowing through life. Every moment, every situation, every event. Nothing serious about it. You can't be serious. Because all things change. People change, situation change, time change, everything changes. And then we feel, hey, what's happening? It's all like a feature film, you know. And suddenly the projector stops showing the film. Then you realize you have been the projector, not the film.
And sometimes it's a bad brigade movie.
It's up to us. What is sitting inside? That's the impression I was talking about. B and C grades are all sitting inside. But that's not bad. That's not bad. This is us. No, we must accept all the B and C sitting in us. Because we like to accept only the A grade stuff, but unfortunately it's a mixture. Because we are walking through all streets, right? So we are collecting all data. Every impression is important. And that is the part of the personality. You can't deny our personality. If the denial happens in personality, the person is affected. The person is the projector, personality is the expression. So we have to own both. The person is important, personality is important, at least temporarily, while we are in the body, while we are alive. When we are dead, it's a good game, we finish. Story over. 6 exactly, 1 minute more.
Mohanji, can I please ask you one last question? And I just have so many. So on this subject, I just need to find out, I understand what you mean about the birth in the morning and the going to sleep, the death in the evening. Where would an individual accept responsibility for good things, bad things? There's nothing specific that I'm referring to. It's just as an adult, as an individual and a human, I take full responsibility for my actions. So I can wake up in the morning understanding that it's a new day and yesterday's gone. Today has its time and tonight it goes to rest again. What if in that day I've had wrongdoings, even good doings, doesn't matter. But
I think the answer is in the question. Who do you consider as this I?
myself,
Who is yourself?
my soul.
Soul has no business. Soul is like petrol of your car.
Yes.
It never asked you for a destination.
Yeah.
It never controlled your journey. It just helped your journey. Like the electricity in the board there. Electricity is always keeping quiet. Electricity never even asks for an expression. But we switch on the light and the expression happened. We, the substratum, created this existence. Understood? But when we surrender, we are surrendering the whole act to the director of the show, who's witnessing the act, not participating in it. Director of the film never participates in the film. He watches the show.
Yes.
He creates the show. That he's invisible. This is Shiva and Vishnu, or Jesus, or Buddha, whatever you call it. He's the director of the show. We give a form to the Supreme Consciousness, which is unmanifested. And the part of that Supreme Consciousness, which is unmanifested, is your soul. Soul is never directing you. Soul is aiding you. He's like a producer, financing you. You do your show. So in that, this I factor is usually the waking state mind we are talking about, which is projecting the personality. That is not you. That's only an aspect of you. And your body is like a rented car. You've taken this body only for some time, from your first heartbeat till your last heartbeat. So that is not you. Your intellect, which is collecting information, assimilating knowledge, this is also not you. It is only one aspect of you. That's your hard drive. Hard drive is not the computer. The screen is different, hard drive is different. So everything is part of you. It's all put together is you, the personality. Personality is also a projection of you. There is a person projecting the personality. If I'm confused enough, I'll talk tomorrow. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow. Have a good dinner and take rest. Remember, silence, mindfulness. Love you.